Alrighty, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. I'm your host, Josh Gillis, and today is day 3 of the 31 Days of Horror Reviews. This one is going to be less of a traditional horror film, more of like a revenge thriller, but it is absolutely disturbing and horrifying, so I feel like it fits. That is 2010's Red, White, and Blue, directed by Simon Rumley. It's about this promiscuous woman who lives a very tough life. She sort of drifts around, sleeps with a lot of people. She meets a sort of rough and tumble ex-army interrogator who is also like very psychotic and unstable, um, and they become close friends. And then we also get this man who she slept with early in the film, who is taking care of his mother, and the film follows the way their three paths intertwine, and a tragic occurrence leads to more tragedy. Don't want to spoil it here because you should go into this mostly blind, but I will say, if you're going to this blind, this is without a doubt one of the most disturbing films I've ever seen. It's not the most graphic or, gory, anything like that, but the psychological aspect of this, and the brutal rawness of a lot of this is something to behold. I'll say that. It's not a fun movie. It's definitely a ruin your night type of movie. The violence in this, when it is there, it's not a crazy violent movie until much later, but when it does happen, it is intense and very disturbing. It's very upsetting. The implications of what's happening are very upsetting, and the sound design with the violence in this is very well done, number one. And number two, very harsh to listen to. I think the acting in this film across the board is pretty great. Honestly, I feel like the weakest performance in this was actually from our lead, Erica, played by Amanda Fuller. I think she does okay, but she is far outshined by Noah Taylor, who plays Nate, the psychopath in question. The thing with him as well, you'll probably notice him from some things, and it was funny because I recognized him from the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake, the Tim Burton one. He's the father of Charlie, and I just found that really amusing to look how that was a big career change as far as like performances go. The film's paced super well. It starts off really, really slow, but we get to know the characters, so when things do happen, it is extremely impactful. We care about what happens to them, despite nobody in this film really being a hero. Everybody kind of sucks in this, in one way or another. They're all very flawed, but flawed to the point that you dislike all of them, essentially. There's not really anybody in this that you're really rooting for, which makes it more impressive that you care what happens to them. Yeah, very good. It's a film that's hard to recommend to many people, though, because like I said, there is violence towards children, flaying, stuff like that, and it is brutal. And the thing about the army interrogator as well is he knows psychological methods to get down to people. I won't spoil who he does things to or what happens, but when he gets in this zone, the acting is super well done. It's very realistic, and it makes it very, very difficult to watch. This one was a big surprise for me because I know it was released by IFC Films, so it's a fairly mainstream movie, but for being as mainstream as it is, it's very disturbing. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's not one that I am ever going to watch again, probably. It's not perfect. I think a couple of the characters, more extraneous side characters, the acting can be a bit shaky on occasion with them. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but when our major male protagonist is done so well that everybody else kind of has something more to live up to there. And I think some people might actually find this too slow. I think the characters being pretty detestable in a lot of ways. You feel sorry for them all in their own way, but they're so vile in others that it's like, I think that's going to put off some people that go into this. But if you go into this expecting like a dark revenge thriller drama, you might like it. I think it's a good movie. It's just, you gotta know what you're getting into. It's very difficult to watch. So, yeah. I'm gonna keep that review pretty short, because I don't want to spoil anything. It's a movie from the 2010s, so even though it's, almost 15 years old at this point, I still don't want to spoil it because it's definitely one more people should watch. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Today's been day 3 of the 31 Days of Horror. Come back tomorrow. I've got another review posted every day through the month. And as always, I've been your host, Herschel Gillis, signing off for today. 0 thoughts, 0 editing, 0 planning, and 0 brain cells. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on. I'll see you guys later. And as always, thanks for watching.